we're excited to announce that the next Tesla Gigafactory will be in Mexico near Monterrey. So super excited about it. We intend to increase production at all factories, so the Giga Mexico would be supplemental to the output of all the other factories. So this is not, to be clear, moving output from anywhere to anywhere. It is simply about expanding total global output. Well, we're going to address whatever we think the limiting factor is at any point in time. So we would like to do the least amount possible. So we don't want to get into the mining or refining sector. We will do that if we have to. It's really the refining capacity that is the biggest choke point. That's why we're building a lithium refinery in Corpus Christi.
As Elon says, like, it's not really like we want to do these things. We're doing them because it's not happening fast enough. So if we can prove that it can be done faster, the intention is to transfer that knowledge to our current suppliers. And the intention is just to help the whole world do this better. And ultimately, the this here is getting the lithium out, or whatever it is, out of the ore.
If there's like entrepreneurs out there that want to have like a guaranteed chance of success, it would be refining lithium or anode and cathodes or any materials whatsoever for lithium-ion cells.
The more we reduce the cost of stationary storage, and the more we bring like flexible load to the grid in the form of like cars charging at the right times, the more valuable renewables are. Because in like Texas right now, I wasn't joking, like there's a lot of wind, and at night, there's like almost too much wind because they don't want to turn the nukes off or whatever. So bringing really low cost storage onto the grid makes renewables more valuable, which ultimately will accelerate their deployment. So that's how we focus on it, I guess.
Oh, how many models? Oh,
vehicle models.
Not that many. Really 10, I don't know, not that many. How many variants of car are there on the road? There's like hundreds. But are they good variants? No, mostly not. They're just variants for the sake of variants. But look at how have things converged with the phone? I mean, there used to be hundreds of flip phones. Now what do we have? It'll be like that. The desire for people to own a Tesla is extremely high. The limiting factor is their ability to pay for a Tesla, not do they want a Tesla. As we lower the price, how much does demand increase? And we found that even small changes in the price have a big effect on demand, very big. So that was a good thing to learn. And then as this autonomy question is very, very big. As autonomy is effectively turned on for the fleet, it probably will be the biggest asset value increase in history overnight.
The next generation platform is not one vehicle. It is multiple, and it's on a segment that we will really try and focus on that affordability and desirability point moreover than where we started.
We actually deliberately try to overdo cell production or cell supply to have that exceed what is needed in vehicles. Because if it goes below what's needed in vehicles, then the factories stall. But then what do you do with all these extra cells? It's like, well, okay, so the much easier thing to scale up and down is Powerwall and Megapack output, stationary storage. So we can then overcapacitize in cells and packs and scale production of stationary storage, which is much easier to scale than vehicle production. Also, Megapack demand is quasi-infinite. It basically, as long as we are competitive with utilities, we can sell as many many terawatt hours. And we got a long way to go to get to many terawatt hours per year.
But we'll try to as much localized as possible. Like in China, over 95% of our supply chain are localized, all the way from the first tier to second tier, even to the third tier. and that give us generated a tremendous savings on costs. We also have a very localized labor force, we have access to skilled labor force in the region, and Yangtze Delta region in Shanghai, I'm particularly referring to. Among over 30,000 of employees in China, we have probably less than 20 expats. So it's very deep localization we have done there to be able to have such cost structure, and we try to replicate this approach elsewhere. I think that's absolutely give us an advantage to compete with the auto OEMs around the globe. Another thing is, we have this direct selling mode. Like Zach said, we save a tremendous money on OPEX as well. We have full control over all the expenditures across the company, and we don't spend money on marketing or advertising. Everything that we saved will become the value we can offer to the consumers.
So as we've been thinking about the next generation platform, we've been thinking about the volume that we aspire to build against that, how many individual factories do we need to build, and what is the fastest possible way to expand that footprint around the world. What we've done with Model Y is each factory is an incremental improvement of the previous factory, which requires engineering hours, engineering spend for each factory design, and then you end up with factories that are slightly different from each other. And as we move towards the next generation platform, I think the term you used, Lars, is copy-paste. So to get it right from the first time, certainly there will be things that we learn and we replicate and we make adjustments to, but try to have as much standardization and commonization as possible, which allows us to go as quickly as possible with expansion.
We have one of the biggest neural net training systems in the world, and that we expect to increase that capability by an order of magnitude by the end of this year, and probably another order of magnitude by the end of next year, with some combination of NVIDIA and Dojo.
The great thing about where we are with the overcapacity that Elon mentioned is it's giving us the opportunity to experiment as we go, rather than just being like stuck to something that we happened to kick off a year and a half ago and it is here. Something that Elon has said to the team many times is it's okay to scrap equipment or money. It's not okay to scrap time. So the way we've been approaching it is probabilistically, what do we think is the most likely thing to succeed? And even actually in the factory here, you saw more than one anode line. They are actually operating two slightly different versions of the final process step of the powder entering the tool. And it's a competition, which is going to be higher yield, which is going to perform better. And we have the luxury to be able to do that. And we're taking full advantage of it to advance the technology as quickly as possible.
Because the road system is designed for eyes and biological neural nets. So naturally, the analog to that is cameras with digital neural nets. If you actually look at our neural net architecture in the car, it's kind of insane, frankly. Nets upon nets upon nets upon nets.